It's Mollena's Black History Minute, which is longer than a minute, 'cause I'm reclaiming my time. Yeah. Good day to you. Hey, you see this? It's the Black History flashcards from urbanintellectuals.com, and they are amazing. We're going through them day by day. Hope you have been joining us and digging it. I keep using like a royal we thing. Anyway, here it is. Today's entry is someone with whom I was unfamiliar previously. Frances Cress Welsing, born March 18th, 1935, and passed on to glory January 2nd, 2016. Let's see. Dr. Welsing, I think she was a doctor. I think she was a therapist. American-born Afrocentrist psychiatrist, yes, and author. Believed people of color needed to liberate themselves psychologically from white domination, which is, I can get behind that. In 1974, authored the Cress theory of color confrontation and racism, white supremacy, which she used interchangeably. She believed that white supremacy and racism were the same thing. States that people of color must gain a better understanding of the, quote, behavioral maneuverings, unquote, of whites in order to avoid being, quote, manipulated into a subordinated position. So her idea was that there was a lot of psychological oppression going on, and this, of course, bled into cultural oppression and racism / white supremacy. In 1991, wrote The ISIS Papers, Keys to the Colors, a collection of 25 essays examining the neuroses of white supremacy. She had this theory. I just read about this, so I'm still kind of buzzing around about this, so I might, like I said, please, double check my work on this. I was not deeply familiar with her at all, or familiar at all. So the idea is that whites are in fact consumed by a neurosis because they think of themselves as the majority and of course the cultural leaders and everything, but they're really not, and therefore they develop a cultural neurosis that encourages them to go and fuck everybody else up. Here's where she lost me. She wrote about quote-unquote melanin theory, a claim that white people are the genetically defective descendants of albino mutants. So white people apparently were some sort of genetic mistake, mutation, and then were kicked out of Africa for being albino or having albinism, as I believe we should be saying, in order to not conflate people with their bodies or people's identity with their bodies. At that point, I'm a little bit like, oh, sure, yeah. Felt that whites strive to maintain a superior social position and manipulate non-whites and themselves into thinking that they are a worldwide numerical majority instead of a minority. She went pretty far with this theory and her idea that, in fact, white people were neurotic mutants, therefore compelled to be obsessed with people with melanin, which they secretly desire but cannot have, etc., etc. Are there some slivers, little bits and pieces and tentacles of truth in there? I believe yes. But the superiority theories are ones that I have a really hard time with, for obvious reasons, and for less obvious reasons, which is it just doesn't feel right to me to sit there and claim a superiority based on anything that's intrinsic, right? I don't get it. Anyway. But I have to give a great deal of respect to the amount of work that she did and when and where she did it, because becoming a psychologist at that time, it's not easy at this point even for people of color to get advanced degrees, so kudos to her. Yeah, check her out, because some of it is really very fascinating, and quite a few people have especially gone on to embrace her theories. She also gets into some really super homophobic stuff, so I would caution you if you are going to read any of her works. There's a whole black male emasculation thing going on, and I was like, okay, thank you, Dr. Welsing. I hope you enjoyed today's Black History Minute. Again, a little bit chaotic, but it is what it is. urbanintellectuals.com, out here doing the good work, so you can thank them, support them by buying their cards, giving them as a gift. I think they make an awesome present for a young person in your life, or a young person out of your life, or randomly sent to someone you don't know. Give it as a surprise, what is that, white elephant? I don't know. That's probably also racist. See you tomorrow.